So as we're down here, let us just see what that looks like. In fact, that's kind of fine. We might want to do something about that bit. I guess we'll just use the upside down stairs to fill that in. Yeah, just gonna use the upside down stairs, I think. Like there, so it doesn't look like it's just a giant horizontal slab. There is pretty much fine. Actually, now that we look at it, alright, I need more stairs, and I just need more dirt as well. Let me just do, alright, let me just do this. Just do this, because we need to figure this out pretty soon. I don't really want it there. Let me just, there. Eventually, we'll get there. Alright. Starting there, I'm just looking at this and seeing where the upside down stairs are gonna go. I guess that's going to be, oops, I guess that's going to be just solid. Upside down stairs, there and there, okay. I also need to go sideways. Let me just come out a bit. Right, 2 from the edge, there we go. And then just go in 1 block. And then we go in 1 more block, there you go. And I have some stairs, not really enough for all of this, but alright, so we're gonna do that. And 1, 2, 3, and I need more. Alright, that should be enough. So we're gonna do that. No. Do that. Oh wait, this is not gonna do that, are we? We're going to figure that part out later. Alright, let's just do that for now. There we go. And then on this side, we're going to do similar things. Let me excavate. So the cobblestone is a clear difference, right? So you can clearly see where the natural mountain ends and where the built stuff begins, because the built stuff is the cobblestone. Alright, so over here we're okay, we're just gonna put the cobblestone. Let's get rid of that. And push the torch back there. Yeah, so the cobblestone is just there. What happens here? That's a very good question. What happens here? I guess we just kind of put solid blocks at least to there, and stairs underneath there. Okay, that works. Alright. I can demolish all this stuff. And we go back to getting water. Let's just see what this looks like from the ground. That looks alright. It's a lot of cobblestone, but that's okay. And the thing is, the water's gonna pour down the side, so half of that you won't even notice, because it's gonna be, you know, water. Cool, look at that. And you know, from a distance you can't see it. From the top you don't see it because it's, you know, underneath. From down here it's quite a long way away, so you don't really notice the details and stuff like that. So that's fine. That's fine there. Let's grab a bucket of water and make our way back up. And do we drop any dirt in the water here? I don't see any. We probably did drop some dirt in the water here. Let me just look at this. Nope. Oh, there we go, there's a few blocks there. Alright, back up we go. Most people don't look up, but if you do, you see that, which is perfectly fine. I might actually put a few more stairs there. Should I do that? Yeah, I should put a few more stairs there, shouldn't I? How should I do that? I need to go back and pillar up again. I'll come back to that. Alright, let's just come up here with our water. Yep, that's fine. And trying very hard not to fall off. We're gonna fill this up with water. All the way to the edge. There we go. Easy. Right, and then here the water flows off there and down here. If I can get up here. It doesn't really mix, does it? Strange. This is strange. I don't know how like the water doesn't mix when it's down like this. Let me just put it, there we go. So, you know, when you have two blocks of water, or when you have an empty gap and two adjacent blocks of water, then the water should, you know, duplicate itself. Although, you know, when it's close to the edge like that, sometimes it doesn't really happen the way you expect. Is that right? It looks right from here. Yeah, it looks right. Alright, let's go down. And in fact, if we are pro, we can actually... Nope, we are not pro. We are so not pro. Okay, sand. More sand. And... no, that's not what I wanted. Can I not? There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. So how do we feel about having the water sheet down like this? Because if you remember all the way at the start of this build, we say we come up and around, we cross the bridge, we go in between the water and the mountains. You see how this then creates this narrow space? Although here you kind of jump out, so that's... I don't know if I want to keep this, you know, open like that. But anyway, you come here and this is still this narrow space. and then it opens out onto the balcony, and you look back at where you came from, and then there's that giant curtain of water, and then you go up. I think that's pretty good. I like that. I like that. There's giant curtains of water. Yeah, I like the... So the sequence works pretty much the way we decided it would, except for this thing here. I feel like this is... I don't know, let's just keep that there for now. We'll think about what to do about it. And here, like, you don't see the water, well, you don't see that water down there. You don't really see that structure anymore, holding up. You can kind of see a little bit of that there. And there's the waterfall there. Maybe the waterfall needs more light in it. It's a bit dark, but maybe that's... Maybe dark is fine. Cool, look at that. It's very vertical. A lot of things going up and down. It's the water going down, the stairs going up. Yeah, there we go. Let me just step back here and look at it from a distance. Very dramatic waterfall. Okay, so I guess that's done. That's the staircase done. I mean, there's the rest of the mountain. Now that you've built that, the rest of the mountain looks really messy, right? So we still have to, put in the paths, and there's still this area, which is the courtyard. The paths, the courtyard, and the paths are those things there, but also paths along the top of the mountain as well, I think. Maybe have another lake at the top, or just have the water appear out of nowhere there, that's fine too. And yeah, okay, so that's more stuff to do later on. Actually, let's just go outside the mountain. Let's see if we can see that waterfall from the outside. I think we actually can. I think the waterfall is quite good, except that it's this highly built, highly designed corner out of a mountain that's otherwise really messy and mostly natural. So I mean, it looks a little strange because of that, like because the rest of the thing is so rough, and then there's this really highly detailed thing in the corner. So that's why it looks odd. But that's not a problem with the waterfall. That's a problem with the rest of the mountain, right? So you can again, like you can see a little bit of it. You can see the water there, and it's like similar to the other side where you can see a little bit of glass, which is the monastery. Like from the outside of the mountain, you get little glimpses of things happening inside the mountain, but you can't really see any details from out here. And I guess when you have paths up there, you can see the paths too. Alright, so that's it for this little part of the mountain. I guess we don't really have too much more to say about it. I like it. I mean, given the space, and it's going to be cramped. Of course, it's going to be cramped. I think we did pretty well, given the shape of the space. And the staircase is always difficult. This staircase, I managed to get this right the first time, pretty much. We did some tweaking back there, but mostly correct the first time round, which is pretty good. I think it's, as I always say, this sort of thing comes with practice. Like the more staircases you build, the better you get at estimating where to put them and how much space you need, and so on and so forth. So that turned out pretty good. Do I have bone meal? No, I won't do that in your time. I'll put some tall grass underneath the trees as well, just for decoration. I like that. It's very it's quite picturesque. Like the thing falling down, and unfortunately the frame is not very good. I mean, if we can zoom in, can we zoom in? I think we can zoom in with the... Can't really zoom in. Like the angle of the camera is not good. Like if we have a camera with a lens and we can zoom in on it, and then we can kind of rotate it so that it's a portrait. So the rectangle is the other way around. Then we can frame a nice picture. But as it is, it looks a bit odd because the frame is horizontal when the space is vertical. So we don't get a good picture of it. Imagine if we crop the screen. and we don't have the cursor. Can you know frame a picture like if you hold your fingers up or you hold your hands up and like cover the left side and the right side until you get this tall narrow rectangle in the middle where the waterfall is. That's a nice picture, I think. Alright, I'm gonna stop.